All right, welcome aboard tonight, folks. It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. Wrestling, Civic Arena here in Watertown. Arrows against for the Battle of Northeast South Dakota against Milbank Bulldogs. So we're gonna hopefully gonna have a few ranked wrestlers squaring off here tonight. We're just getting ready for the face-offs, and we're gonna have the national anthem. Then we'll have the playing of the face-offs. So. Again, welcome aboard tonight. Arrow TV bringing you Arrow Wrestling against Milbank tonight in the Civic Arena.
Active duty military personnel or veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, your national anthem.
All right, national anthem complete, and we'll have the face-offs here. I'll try to overhear. We have a couple of changes in the lineup, but I think we've got them all.
Representing Milbank Bulldogs at 106 pounds, Abe Fisher. And for your Arrows, Braylon Shell.
Braylon Shell for the Arrows, facing against sophomore Abe Fisher for the Bulldogs. At 113.
For the Bulldogs, Tayson Tillman. And for the Arrows, Chase Matthews.
Chase Matthews for the Arrows, the sophomore, against Tayson Tillman. He's a freshman for Milbank.
For the Bulldogs, Ryder Gap. And for the Arrows, Shea Richter.
Shea Richter for the Arrows, and I did not catch the athlete for Milbank.
For Milbank, Andrew Carls. And for the Arrows, Braxton Peterson.
All right. Braxton Peterson for the Arrows at 126 versus Andrew Carls of Milbank.
Kyle Schneck. And for the Arrows, Cutler Swenson.
At 132, Kyle Schneck of Milbank against Cutler Swenson, Arrows.
Maxton Schaefer. And for the Arrows, Max Stroop.
Max Stroop for the Arrows in at 138.
144 pounds for the Bulldogs, Parker Grabo. And for the Arrows, Kessler Swenson.
Parker, last name I didn't catch for Milbank, and Kessler Swenson for the Arrows.
And for the Arrows, Leo Strop.
Leo Strop will take a forfeit at 150.
At 157 pounds for the Bulldogs, Joe French. And for the Arrows, Marcus Pitkin.
A good one tonight at 157, Marcus Pitkin for the Arrows, and Joe French. Pitkin, French for the Milbank.
And for the Arrows, Landon Lewis.
165, Reese Rabe for Milbank, and Landon Lewis for the Arrows.
175 pounds, Milbank has an open. And for the Arrows, Cade Kemper.
Cade Kemper, 175, will take a forfeit
At 190 pounds
for the Arrows.
Milbank, Jesse Schneck. And for the Arrows, Ty Hagen.
All right, at 190, Ty Hagen for the Arrows, and Jesse Schneck for the Bulldogs.
Rashawn Gertzma. And for the Watertown Arrows, Ethan Witches.
215, Rashawn Gertzma, sophomore for the Bulldogs versus Ethan Wenches for our Arrows. And on the top of the lineup.
For Milbank, Oliver Korth. And for the Arrows, Micah Hawk.
All right, and at the top of the list, Oliver Korth, senior from Milbank, will be facing Micah Hawk for the...
Positive treatment of our officials will be expected at all times. Failure to do so could result in removal.
Quite all right. Our tonight's referee... That's fine.
At this time, let's get ready to wrestle.
All right. It's tough to talk over the microphone of the head table, but tonight's referee for our match, Tyler Wagner, out of the Webster area. A little personal note with Mr. Wagner. He was an all-conference linebacker a couple of years for Dakota Wesleyan football. My son Adam played down there with him for a couple of years. And also, on an even more personal note, Tyler once wrestled my son Connor way, way, way back when. That's the kind of coverage you're getting out of Arrow TV tonight. And Tyler got Con, I think it was 7-3, way back when. Might have been about 3rd or 4th grade. So anyway, let's get into more real stuff here tonight. To lead it off, Braylon Shell, the 9th grader for the Arrows. He's, I think, 18-6 on the year. He was not in the lineup last week against Pierre. And Abe Fisher for Milbank. He's a sophomore. And right from the go, Braylon Shell with a 3-point takedown. And there's a tilt. And back points. So right from the go here tonight, Braylon Shell happy to get back on the mat. I don't think he wrestled this last weekend in the Jerry Oprock either. So always nice to jump back into it. Braylon Shell ranked number 4 this week at 106 in the latest Grappler State A ranking. So, and there's Braylon with a near side cradle. And look at that camera work right there. We're right on top of it. Referee Wagner getting the view as well. 53 seconds left to go here in first period. There's 4 points ready to be awarded, but no hold break, so there'll be no additional back points scored until Braylon breaks that hold or time runs out or whatnot. So, and there's going to be a pinfall. 1:25 into the first period. Braylon Shell by fall over Abe Fisher. That's a nice way to return back to the lineup for Braylon. You know, if you're not here, there's still time for you to get here. And if you didn't catch that from the head table, there's going to be a t-shirt toss after some of these matches. So, you know, don't speed, but work your way here up to the Civic Arena. All right, Tayson Tilma, he's a freshman for Milbank. I got him at 11-15 on the season. And Chase Matthews, 20-5, sophomore for the Arrows. So Tilma, 6th place at the Floyd earlier this year. And Chase Matthews, sophomore, he's ranked number 5 this week and having a real strong season for the Arrows. And there's a almost takedown, single leg that Tilma's able to scramble out of. And there's a 3-point near fall or a 3-point takedown. And some backers scored again. Just got to add that 1 point of contact in the mat. So if you saw there just for a few seconds, Matthews even looked back at his foot just to make sure he was still in bounds if he could score from there. And he's got, there he looked again. So, and they're off the bounds. So 2-point near fall. So 5-0 with just about a minute gone here in the first period. Chase Matthews over Tayson Tilma. Tilma was 0-2 this last weekend at the Jerry Oprock down there in Mitchell. And he's up to his feet, and Matthews able to do a return. So no change of position there. You know, Chase, 8th place there at Rapid City earlier this year. 1st place at Sioux Falls Washington tournament in the Floyd Ferrand. Bulldogs 5th place at the Bismarck Invitational. And again, ranked number 5 this week, so just having a strong season. Head lever ride for Matthews. With Fisher Tilma right back to his base. So there's an armbar and Country Boy and a turn. Not quite. With Tilma looking away and staying flat and not allowing the Arrow wrestler to score. And that'll be end of the first period. So 5-0 after 1. Matthews will go down. Tilma did wrestle an Arrow last week. Tanner Tilma at the Jerry Obrek. Tanner Erdahl got a 3-1 win in that one. So, and there's Tilma, got the boots in and trying to work a half and getting a little high, and no change, but there is. There's 2-point reversal for Chase Matthews, so now the lead is 7-0. Just about halfway through this 113-pound matchup. There's Chase, he's still looking for that armbar wrist. And there he has it. See if Tilma can fight that off, and there he did. And there are no points yet for back points, but there's some right there getting counted out. So good camera work there from the ground level here on Arrow TV. Again, not we're Thursday night wrestling here. I've got a lot of good memories. When I grew up in Clear Lake, we didn't wrestle in Watertown much at all, but we did wrestle Milbank, and Bob Hirsch was the coach back then of Milbank when I was a competitor. And there's a 4-point near fall awarded, so match is now 11-0. Matthews with the lead with the ending of the second period. So 11-0, and Red's choice, he's going to go both up. So Tayson going to go both on his feet, trying to mount a little bit of a rally here and get back in this one. There we got a little poke. Let's see if Chase can't walk that one off. Referee Wagner talking about a little hand fighting there, and we're back to live action. So there's double shot, or both guys shot. Matthews got a little bit lower. He's able to get a lift and moving him to the center of the mat, and there's a takedown for 3. Now 14-0. Matthews also got those legs split, and sometimes that's as a defensive wrestler, that is a tough place to be because you just can't get away. There's 1 count for near fall, but not 2, so no near fall points awarded in that sequence. And there's Matthews working that arm bar again. And we'll see what he can do with it. 55 seconds to go here at the 113 match. Again, just right off the jump here tonight. Nice crowd here for the Arrows, and the Bulldogs brought a nice amount of folks too. So there's a great camera angle working the arm bar and corralling that other arm, trying for a Country Boy. And again, Tilma hanging tough down there. Watertown coaching staff telling Chase to cut him and try to get a score here at the buzzer. Single leg, and Tilma is fighting it off. And Chase just trying to run the pipe and get him on the mat and off the mat. So just 1 second to go in this third period. So this one's going to go the distance tonight, with Chase Matthews picking up a 14-1 win over Tayson Tilma.
Winner by major decision, Chase Matthews.
All right, that'll move Matthews to, I think, about 21-5 on the year. So at 120, I'm going to try to catch the name this time. At least for the Milbank wrestler. And Shea Rector for the Arrows.
And for the Arrows, Shea Richter.
I'm thinking the headboard or the head match said Ryder Young. And that'll be a pinfall for Shea Richter here at 120. So that's a tough draw tonight. Richter, ranked number 1, he's a junior. Now 21-1 on the season. So moving up to 126. All right.
At 126 for the Bulldogs, Andrew Carls, and for the Arrows, Braxton Peterson.
All right, Braxton Peterson for the Arrows, and Andrew Carls, the freshman from Milbank. I got Carls at 2-4 on the year with a 1-2 record last week at the Jerry Oprock. And Peterson I have limited data on, so we're just going to see how the young man does here tonight. Again, looking good so far. We're trying to force the action. And Carls battles back in, so no score here just early on, 30 seconds in. Peterson with a shot, but defended well, and Carls tried to offensive move, but neither scored, and will stay scoreless after 1 minute. But good tie-up going on again right off the early on here tonight. 16-0 for the Arrows, at least team score wise. So there's a nice pickup dump, and 3 points awarded for Braxton Peterson, so he jumps out 3-0 over Carls. The Milbank Bulldogs are coached by Josh Schmeichel, assisted by Eli Fisher, Marty King, Toby Schneck, Steve Stemsrud, and Wyatt Winter. And an armbar turn almost for Peterson. He has that arm bar and wrist, and fought off well by Carls. And there's another turn, and there's some counts, but only a 1 count, and time runs out. So first period ends 3-0, Braxton Peterson with the lead. Braxton's going to defer, and we're going both up, says Mr. Carls. So here we go. Of course, the Arrows, coached by Chaz Welch, Aaron Eltoff, Nick O'Connor, Garrett Seringer, and the legend Sam Strop. So, there's a duck under slide that no points, but certainly forcing the action is Braxton Peterson. Braxton went for a kind of a upper toss, but kind of got off balance. Carl's countered and scored a three-point near fall off to the corner of the mat. So, and we got a little blood time for Braxton Peterson. So, you know, many of you here in Watertown are familiar with, you know, Eric Werner, good Bulldog when he was a younger fella, and I think he was a state champ once for the Bulldogs. And another claim to fame of Eric is he wrestled the kicker for the Patriots, and Adam, how can I not remember his name? Played for South Dakota State, played for the Patriots, kicked for the Indianapolis Colts, has about 4 Super Bowl rings. Adam Vinatieri, there we go. So, little trivia you don't get to know. Good thing you're listening on a Thursday night right here at Bull Arrow TV. So it looks like Braxton's got himself ready to go. And he's going to be on the bottom, so picking up live action here with a minute 23 to go. So we'll see if we can get some more scoring going on here. And there's an escape for Braxton, so 4-3 the lead for the Arrow. If you see Eric sometime, you can ask him, how'd that match with Vinatieri turn out? He'll be happy to tell you about it. On the edge, but no scoring. Oh, there's a shot by Peterson. Sprawled out, another shot. Peterson's got that, and we're gonna call it out of bounds. So, oh, guess not. Medical blood time for Braxton Peterson. I could tell you another funny story. Growing up, my grandma lived in Milbank, and we were in Milbank a lot as a kid. And we loved going, and we wrestled in Milbank a lot, but grandma never ever came to watch us wrestling because she thought wrestling was like pro wrestling, because we watched a lot of pro wrestling at her house, but she had cable TV and we didn't. So I get into high school, and my dad finally talks grandma, her name was Josephine Adolson, into coming to a wrestling match. And we're telling her it's not like the pro wrestling and nobody gets thrown out of the ring and all this stuff. Well, once you know, we're wrestling, and one of my teammates, one of my teammates gets thrown off to the side of the mat, and they actually go in the bleachers a little bit. The bleachers were really far up there. And I remember I looked at my grandma, she grabbed her white purse and told my dad, Gary, I want to leave. So, all right, back to live action. And Grandma Denver did watch me wrestle here. Almost a slide by for Carroll's, but no points scored. And we're getting to short time here. Coaches always talk about buzzer scoring. You want to score at the buzzer if you can. Of course, you don't want to give up anything at the buzzer if you cannot, to prevent that. So anyway, all right, end of the second period, 4-3. And we got Braxton choosing down. So good one right here at 126 pounds. All right, mini caution for Braxton. Just making sure he gets the hand placement right. Braxton trying to get to his feet. Carroll's working him over, and there's going to be a technical violation there. Hand clasp for Carroll's. That'll be 1 point for Peterson. That'll stretch his lead now 5-3. So, and a little more blood time. So it looks like he has about just under 4 minutes of blood time left. left. So again, we're hoping we can get that squared away for the athlete. But yeah, funny thing, when Grandma finally showed up to one of my matches, she was always worried that it would make a person nervous, and I just told her one time, I go, well, Grandma, unless you go out there and help the other guy, I think we'll be just fine. You know, so, but yeah, Grandma, I'll never forget. Teammate and my teammate, nobody was hurt on the deal. It's just one of those things where they kind of stumbled into the first row of the stands, and she had it. She said, Gary, my dad, take me home, Gary, and they left. But, all right, enough about that. But 5-3 still. And Peterson looking to get some hand control. And Carroll's with kind of a loose ride. And he just lets him go there. And so now 6-3. And we'll see if Carroll's can't rally up from the feet and tie this up, or if Peterson can maybe tack on a little bit more and get some separation. So, oh. And more blood time. So shoot, that's always tough when you just kind of get going with some momentum and then that happens. So. Wrestling Pictionary. You can see this on the TV broadcast. That's all right. All right. Staff's getting him squared away over there at the blood time. And get some of that stuff off the mat. Again, the season winding down quickly for both these squads. Region in a couple, 3 weeks. No state meet out in Rapid City. Region meet in West Central, I think it is this year, Hartford. So back to the more important stuff. Here we go, the here and now. Both these guys locked up. Carroll's certainly on the prowl, pressing the issue. Milbank coach and staff telling their athlete, yeah, keep going with that duck under. There's a shot by Peterson and defended well by Carrolls, and no score. So off the mat, 21 seconds to go here in the third period. So, and we're gonna do maybe one last blood time. So. I think next action for the Arrows is down in Sioux City at the Sioux City Heel-In tournament on Saturday. Of course, next Saturday is the Lee Wolf, which is a highlight on the high school schedule. Brings together a ton of good A and B wrestlers. Braxton, he's ready to go. One thing about Braxton, I can tell you what, sometimes an athlete can get a little thrown off their game with that blood time. He has not. He's stayed in wrestler mode, you know, good position. Both wrestlers with an almost score there. Carroll's forcing the action. There's a single that he's got to pick up at the edge of the mat. We'll see if he can finish and get a tie. And 1 second left. Good action on the edge of the mat, but no points awarded. And that'll be how it ends. So 6-3, Braxton Peterson for the Arrows. Able to get the win. So. All right, moving right along. Here on Thursday Night Wrestling. 132 pounds. Looks like Cutler Swenson for the Arrows, the sophomore.
Next up at 132 pounds for the Bulldogs, Kyle Schneck. And for the Arrows,
as I was saying, Cutler Swenson 22-8 on the year, 4th last week at the Jerry Ottbrock, went 2-2, and Kyle Schneck, he's an 8th grader. And my crack research has him at 6-16 on the year. And he was kind of a highlight of the year, 4th at the Falkton tournament. So just getting started here. Swenson gets a takedown, and we're off the mat. So again, Cutler Swenson getting honorable mention attention at the grappler for this week's ratings. The other thing about Cutler, first place at Sioux Falls, Washington earlier this year, 3rd at the Floyd, got 4th up in Bismarck. So excellent effort. So he was 2-2 last week at down in Mitchell at the Jerry Ottbrock. So all right, no change in points. There's a return to the mat. Cutler working the Matt Barron ride. With Schneck keeping a good base. Doing what he can to try to mount a rally of his own. Cutler, he's got those long features where he can tie you up from a couple of different directions, I think, if he wanted to. So those long guys, the long, strong guys, those are tough fellas to tangle with because they can just lock on and they always got the leverage on it. So off the mat, 16 seconds to go here, just 3-0. And again, a little blood time for the Watertown athlete. Bob Hirsch coached here at the Arrows for, I suppose, almost 15 years. And lots of fun knowing him. We'll see if he's listening tonight or tuned in. So, Coach, if you're there, you know my cell number. You can always tag in. That's fine. Yeah, Coach Hirsch, if you're there, you can always come on up here and make a little road trip. We could put you in on the side. And we could work you in for some of your knowledge. One of the best guys ever, coaching high school wrestling. Hopefully someday he'll be in the South Dakota Hall of Fame. The guy's great coach, and I don't know if you can say better person, but there's 1 and 1A right there. A lot of fun talking to Coach Hirsch. He knows everybody in the entire midsection of the United States, from Texas all the way up to the North Dakota Canada border. So you talk college wrestling, he knows it. He's got their cell number. All right, still 3-0 after 1 period, and Swenson will be down. So we'll see if the 8th grader Schneck can get some points on the board. All right, Swenson to his feet quickly. No change yet. And there's a break and 1 point escape, Cutler Swenson, so 4-0. There with the lead, there's a scramble single, and there you go. Another takedown, Cutler Swenson. Makes it 7-0. And Cutler, he's got that underneath arm. Again, in a move review, last week we called that the Pooh Bear, but now he switched it off to that Matt Byrne armbar ride. Just trying to stack him up a little bit. And Schneck, him too, he's the longer fella as well. So there's a wrist and half. We'll see if Swenson can get a turn here, and there it is. There's a turn on the edge of the mat. Again, only 1 point of contact needs to be in. And it looks like 4-point near falls have been counted. And we'll see there they're off the mat. So 7, adding 4 more, that'll make it 11-0. Swenson with the lead. All right, Swenson again with that underneath arm, just trying to use the physics of the body. Almost rolling his opponent on that far shoulder, but he passes off to back to the arm bar. And a lot of pressure on that arm right there. Ooh, boy. Trying to get it up over his back and just isn't able to do it. So we're going to end this period 11-0 for Swenson, and we'll see Schneck's choice. He's going to go both up. So kind of a slide by single that Swenson kind of caught him, but didn't have a good grip on it, let it go, and we'll just restart again. So right here at 7:31 Thursday night, there's a single leg change off to a double. And no points yet, but see if Schneck can body lock, and there referee Wagner throws up 3. And looks like Cutler's going to do a release and try to get another takedown, and there is one, and that'll do it. So this one will end 17-1. Cutler Swenson gets the tech fall at 132 pounds.
Winner at 132 pounds by technical fall, Cutler Swenson.
All right, moving up to 138. Max Strop in the lineup. And we're going to get a little talk at the head table. Of course, this week, bit of a bummer. Our mainstay in the lineup for how many years, Gage Lohr, suffered an injury, and so he's not in the lineup tonight. Max will be taking his spot, so we hope Gage can have a speedy recovery and see his way back to wearing the singlet and getting out here and pursuing what he likes to do. Let's see what we're going to do. Here's a review of that pinfall on Arrow TV. Owen Fisher, who's been a mainstay for the Bulldogs, he's a senior. State place winner the last 2 years, state qualifier in 2022. He's had kind of a medical forfeit kind of year. I had him at, he's usually the regular for the Bulldogs, but he's 13-6 in the year, but he's had a whole bunch of medical forfeits. So trying to maybe nurse something back to where you can be competitive here in February. But be that as it may, we'll gladly take our athletes that we have tonight. Well, we're going to get this one started sometime. Here we go. And we'll get the wrestlers announced as who they are, and let's get this one started at 138.
Now on the mat for the Bulldogs at 138 pounds, Maxton Schaefer, and for the Arrows, Max Shrew.
Schaefer for the Bulldogs, and again Max Strop for the Arrows. So, and just like that, we got another blood time. So Yikes, that's what you can say. It's been cold, noses get dry. Takes a long time to heal those things. Once you get a bloody nose, it just takes a lot of time to get those healed up where they don't leak on you. So, our next Arrow TV broadcast is going to be Tuesday night for Arrows girls basketball. I believe we'll be hosting Huron. While there might be video coverage tomorrow. I know the Arrows have another match here in town. All right, we're going to move on to the Huddle Cam on the YouTube channel under the Watertown School District 14-4. That'll get you hooked up for tomorrow night's wrestling. So that'd be a good night. It'd be a Friday night. You might as well come down. I think Brandon Valley's in town along with Mitchell. All right, so a couple of good operators there. So I think that's a girls and boys action. So come on out, bring your family, and I'll likely be here someplace, maybe. But just good to see high school athletes out wrestling, representing our community, and give us something to cheer about. So back to live action, 5-0. Strop still with the lead. Neil Strop has a second place finish at Sioux Falls, Washington this year. He was 7th at the Floyd. And I got him at 7-7 on the year. So he is a sophomore. And got an escape for Schaefer of Milbank, and both wrestlers on their feet. Oh, nice ankle pick by Max. He's turning that into a no points scored, but it looked really nice. He's still in a position of advantage there, and he's going to spin drill around and catch that 3 points. Takedown, and referee Wagner, boy, I can see the leak from here where it happened. So again, blood time for the Arrow. The blood guys out there for the Arrows, they are quick on the duty. They can spray and wipe. We should get their names. Maybe a couple of those fellas could come by a house or two and have our spick and span in just a few minutes. So State A duels coming right up on February 15th in Pierre. That's a one-day event. Arrows, I think right now might be the number 2 seed, with the Sturgis being number 1. Of course, Aberdeen and the Arrows, we got a matchup with them coming up here soon too. So back to live action. 8-1, Strop with the lead. We're still in the first period on this one. Max going for the 3-quarter Nelson here. Extreme short time, less than 5 seconds to go. We'll see if he can't get something. There's a tip. And no pinfall there, but it was close. That'll get you a 2-point near fall though. Or make that back, take that back 3. So scoreboard has this 10-1. Max Strop with the lead over Schaefer of Milbank. So again, the state tournament, of course, West Central for the region tournament on February 22nd. And Max gets around there for a spin drill takedown, and that'll make it 13-1. Of course, Milbank in the Region 1A as well as the Arrows. Brookings, Del Rapids, Jefferson, T area. West Central, Roosevelt. And escape for Schaefer, but we're going to get another break in the action here. So, tell you what, by about 165 pounds, these our blood guys, they're going to be wore out. So, here's a replay of a takedown, and there's also the three-quarter Nelson that right at the end of that first period. So, Coach Chaz throwing together, really patching up our athletes pretty quick, because sometimes that blood time can take more. Can take a few more seconds than what they're letting on. So they're getting in and off in about 20, 25 seconds, which is really good. Both guys locked up pretty good, but off the mat. 53 seconds to go here in the second period. Strop holding the lead at 13-2 over Schaefer of Milbank. There's a shot by Schaefer, and sprawl back by Strop. Strop trying to work it around, and there's a takedown, and he's throwing on a cradle. And 15-2 now. There's Max going for that three-quarter Nelson again, and maybe you can hear the Bulldog coaches yelling, belly, 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 which is how you defend against that, but at some point you got to come up. And again, he's just, Schaefer again, just mounting the defense for that hold, and that's going to be the way we end the second period. 15-2 for the Arrow. Schaefer choosing both up. And here we go, third period. There's Strop with a single leg, runs the pipe over. Getting the takedown, there's three and back points. And that's going to be the way that one's going to end here. 3 back points awarded, so that would be a 7-point move. So it's going to end 22-2. Max Stroop. Strop. So nice way for Max to get back in the lineup, and good to see him out there. All right, moving on, 144. For the Arrows, we got Kessler Swenson, and for the Bulldogs.
At 144 pounds for the Milbank Bulldogs, Parker Grapple, and for the Arrows, Kessler Swenson.
Swenson right from the jump with a double leg lift and right to near fall points. Kessler, the junior, he's 10-14 on the year. And he's got a vice on, and it's going to be ending in pinfall. 17 seconds into it. Kessler Swenson gets the win. All right, at 150, unless things change up a little bit, Leo Strop will pick up a forfeit. So Leo in the lineup. Of course, state qualifier last year at 138 pounds, so good for that to happen. And that'll move us up to 157, maybe one of the premier matches of the night. Looks like Joe French, he's the Milbank, he's a senior, and Marcus Pitkin, the junior, for our Arrows. All right, French, the senior, I got him at 13-5 on the year, and Pitkin 21-7. So, oh, look at Pitkin with a nice single leg pickup and works into a double up the back, and here's a 3-point takedown. So, and Pitkin right from the jump, collapsing on that arm. So, French last week, he was 4th at the Jerry Ott Ruck, and Pitkin was 3rd. However, these two did not wrestle. There was a medical forfeit, French medical forfeited to Pitkin. So while Pitkin got the win, they didn't really wrestle. You know, French a state qualifier at 150 pounds in 2024. And Pitkin 3-1 there at the JO Jerry Oprock last week. And there's an escape for French, so 3-1 now. Just kind of on the edge action. Guys just looking to start again, and that's what we're going to do. So French decided let's start again in the middle. So Bill Pitkin, second place at the Floyd Ferrand and Sioux Falls, Washington meet. Seventh place at Bismarck. So good one here tonight with French and Pitkin. Attempted arm drag by French, that defended by Pitkin. Both guys doing some hand fighting in there and head position. And this one's going to end 3-1 after one period. So a couple of good ones here. Pitkin ranked number 4 this week in the grappler, and French number 5. So Pitkin on the top. Pitkin trying for that pinch ride. There's our ground level camera right there. With French trying to kind of quad pod up. French to his feet, and there's the release. So 1 point scored there. Oh, and Pitkin right in on that single leg, but off the mat. So good flurry halfway through this one. Team score, what, 41-0 for the Arrows right now. French looking to put the Bulldogs on the board here at 157. Ooh, there's French in on a signal, but kind of backed out of that one after Pitkin threw up a little defense. Both guys head positioning really good. French tried a Russian tie set up. Kind of working that, but just tough to get in tight and secure that arm against a person's body, because Pitkin don't want to give it up because he knows what's coming. "15 seconds to go here. We'll see if somebody can get a little buzzer score to even this one up or take the lead. All right, still 3-2 going into the third period. So Pitkin's going to choose down. French had that pinch ride in way deep, but thought better of it. Now he kind of collapsing, and Pitkin in with the switch, and are we going to get a score or no score? There we go. One escape for Marcus Pitkin. So that'll make it 5-2. No, forgive me, 4-2. Here, both guys on their feet again with that 3-point near fall. Ooh, French had a shot off the jump, and Pitkin reacted, but no score on either of their parts. Had one of my friends tell me, you know, Marcus Pitkin's grandpa, he might have been, was a national champion in the Hall of Fame up there in Northern. So, and grandpa would have liked that move. Arm drag into a takedown for Pitkin. So that'll make a little more separation there, 7-2 in his favor. Pitkin just hanging on to that Matt Byrne ride, and with the other one just kind of splaying out the legs. So just keeping French off his base. And there's a crossface. It's a well done crossface too. Look at that. He posted, reached with the one arm and posted the off the shoulder to push that arm and shoulder together so he could throw in so he could secure that far arm. It's a really good, just a little finer point of a move that is easy to overlook, but hey, a couple of good ones out there. Pitkin able to get the win, 7-2 over Joe French. So good one at 160 or 157. So moving on, 165. This match is rolling right along tonight, folks. Already 7:52, and we're already at 165. Just 5 more matches to go. And Reese Rabe, the senior from Milbank.
At 165 pounds on the mat for the Bulldogs, Reese Rabe. And for the Arrows, Landon Lewis.
And for the Arrows, Landon Lewis. He's a sophomore, Rabe a senior. I got Rabe at 8-14 on the year. He went 0-2 last week at Jerry Opbrock, but earlier in the year placed in the Floyd Ferran. And Lewis had a nice weekend last weekend, getting 4th there at the Jerry Opbrock. He's in on a single, and we'll see if he can't complete it. Doing some edge wrestling. That's Lewis. Oh boy. Reese was whizzing hard, but Lewis able to regain his balance and walked around the front and got a 3-point takedown, and now he's got a half, and it's pretty tight on the edge of the mat. So he's got 4 points for near fall, and Lewis has got a very tight pinning combination on Rabe right now. So referee Wagner's got that, and there's a pinfall. Landon Lewis picking up a nice win here. Minute 14 into the first period. Wins by fall.
165 pounds, your winner from Watertown with the pin, Landon Lewis.
All right, at 175, Cade Kemper, at least in the preliminaries, he was announced as a forfeit winner, and there he goes. He gets a tough one tonight, so.
Winner by forfeit, Cade Kemper.
Kemper, that'll move him to 12-9 on the year. And all right, moving right up to 190. Forgive me for a second, folks.
Next up,
there we go.
For the Bulldogs, Jesse Schneck. And for the Arrows, Ty Hagen.
Ty Hagen for the Arrows. And Jesse Schneck, the senior, in the lineup for Milbank. He had a nice slide by, and he's going to be able to get Ty on the mat for a 3-point takedown. Schneck 15-5 on the year. Real nice wrestler, and we're going to break that just for good measure. Schneck ranked number 6 this week at 190. You know, Schneck, state qualifier, last 4 years, 22, 23, and 24. He'd like to jump on the podium this year. He's got a long, or a far side cradle. And Hagen trying to work out of that. And there's a pinfall. So Jesse Schneck getting the Bulldogs on the scoreboard with a 46-second first period pin over Ty Hagen. All right, moving on to 215. Rashawn Gertzma, he's a sophomore from Milbank. And for our Arrows, Ethan Wench is the senior. So Gertzma, sophomore. Wenches right from the jump. A lot of action, no points. Wench is in on a single leg. Gertzma almost countered with a headlock. But we fell off on the north side, and there we go. So all right, you know, tonight at Arrow TV, we can't do it without our helpers, with the people. I get all the fun. I get to come up here, watch and talk, and barely do anything more. But our camera people, technical director Conrad Pitkin, camera Ryder Schnell, and we did have a takedown there for Wenches and an escape already for Gertzma. So Kara Thu, she's on the floor running our floor camera, and graphics, Olivia Dakota. So Arrow TV, everybody makes it look easy, but it's not. It just takes work. So love our bunch, love our camera crew, love our technical people. And it really is the best in the state when it comes to watching and enjoying our athletes. So there's Wenches with a pickup and takedown to near fall points. And edge of the mat. He's got the 4-point near fall awarded. And again, only 1 point of contact, needs to stay in bounds. And that'll be a pinfall. Ethan Wenches gets one tonight at the 127 mark of the first period. So I think that'll move Wenches to 8-8 on the year. So even in the record. And at 285 heavyweight for Milbank, Oliver Korth.
Now on the mat at 285 pounds for the Bulldogs, Oliver Korth. And for your Watertown Arrows, Micah Hawk.
All right, Micah Hawk for the Arrows. Micah did not wrestle last week at the Jerry Opbrock. Korth did. Korth was fourth there, had it 2-2. I got him at 3-3 on the year. So, and there's a 3-point near fall for Micah. Again, Korth, he also is a senior. Micah Hawk is senior as well. Right here at 7:58 on Thursday Night Wrestling, right here from the Civic Arena. There's Hawk. He's got that underarm, I'll call it Pooh Bear ride. See if he can just kind of lift and pivot using the physics of the man. And there it is. There's a turn. And we're going to have a break in the action for, we got a little blood time. So 3-point near fall awarded. And they're getting Mr. Korth patched up. So, hey, look at that. There's our technical people in the box upstairs. Doing very well. Conrad and Olivia.
I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Aiden Hawk.
Well, how about that? Aiden Hawk getting birthday wishes. Girl's not in action tonight, but I suspect she's in the crowd. Throwing her support out there. All right, we're back to live action. There's Korth up quick, and he tries a little side roll, hook and roll situation, but decides to roll against that. And again, just staying busy. Hawk, Hawk been a mainstay for what, 4 years now at the heavyweight position for the Arrows, and 2 runner-ups and a 3rd place finish. And this year he'd like to make it all the way to the top. So there's a crossbody ride with some near fall points awarded. And still with 4 points awarded, but now into a chin drop, and that's going to end in pinfall at the 130 mark. So all right, right at the 8:01 mark tonight, folks, we are finished up. Final match goes Hawk's way by pinfall in 1:30, and this duel goes 68-6 tonight for the Arrows. So again, tomorrow night, Arrows will be in town, but Arrow TV will not be covering them. But you can tune in on the YouTube channel. Just get to the Watertown High School 14-4 site, and it'll be on the Huddle feed. So again, good night for Arrow Wrestling here. Shell got a win. Chase Matthews got a win. Richter with a win. Braylon Shell got a win to lead it off at 106. Braxton Peterson got a win at 126 for the Arrows. Cutler Swenson had a fun match. Max Straub back in the lineup, gets a win. Kessler Swenson with a win. Leo Straub, he had a forfeit. Marcus Pitkin and Joe French, 7-2 decision for Pitkin, which was a good competitive match. They'll see each other, I'm sure, down the way. Landon Lewis gets a pin at 165. Kemper at 175 gets the forfeit. And Jesse Schneck for the Milbank, he gets a pin at 190, and Wenches and Hawk both with pins at the top of the lineup. So hey, thanks for tuning in tonight. Tons of fun. We will see you down the road again next Arrow TV broadcast Tuesday night, Watertown girls basketball. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great Thursday night.